Guys, I'm Cal from Kelly T Black Metal Reviews. Hailing from Christchurch in New Zealand is Blindfolded and Led to the Woods, a 5-piece extreme metal band who have just offered us their third full-length album, and it is Nightmare Withdrawals, which released only recently in March 2021. Nightmare Withdrawals is substantially large, let me tell you. This has 10 tracks of generous time duration, blending death metal with avant-garde edges and hardcore undertones, and manic technical scores throughout, let me tell you. These riffs are properly off their face and are a massive focus of Blindfolded sound, and dead set, these come at you from all directions in a layered and intricate style from start to finish. This album is loud, bloody heavy, and completely dense. I love the production of this album. I want to talk to you about it quickly because it struck me immediately, particularly because this style of somewhat technical death metal can often be produced to be polished or shiny, for a better word, and I'm so glad that these guys have kept the nasty ambience throughout this, but they're still showcasing the precision of their musicianship very, very well. There's so much going on here. This is a huge focus on technical solos and scores, over the top of persistent guitar patterns and those big caveman riffs, to the point where it sounds like there's just so many guitarists just going for it at one time. And my initial taste to this album, of course, was the first banger off this album, The Inevitable Fate of the Universe. This was hook, line, and sinker for me into this album. These tracks are just what I wanted to hear. They are fast, the drum tracks are massive, mixing rhythmic patterns, blasts, and big moody beats, working together with that heavy and notable bass line. And You Will Try to Speak, another favorite of mine. This translates such violence through chugging riffs, those drawn out notes. This is so dark and so gritty. Lyrically, it's brutal as fuck with horror-inspired and bloodthirsty savagery. The vocalist is an absolute beast. He has a massive guttural and he uses this to add persuasion to the callous experience of every track. But there's just something extra about this one. A softer momentary bridge is heard in this one, and I kind of felt like I welcomed this because it's so full on. There's so much happening, but it's organized chaos and it's suffocating and addicting all at once. Nightmare Withdrawals, the title track of this album, what a monster. It sounds so impulsive. It propels a volatile mood at you as the listener, with erratic hardcore elements just adding to its overall weight. The composition of this album highlights such complexity. You cannot miss this. It's constantly taking on so many different directions, yet the boys manage to drive it back on course every time, ensuring that it doesn't lose its way through its intricacy. This is without a doubt a very intense and hectic metal experience. It's not for the faint-hearted or for those who need something straight-laced, safe, or maybe even genre-siloed. You know, these guys are using experimental elements and they're blending multiple genres like an absolute boss. Even notable jazz tones in there, albeit subtle and somewhat warped. They are there and I heard it. But overall, this was a real treat for me to listen to, and I'm so glad I've immersed myself in this week. The boys use unique and interesting effects and techniques on the harmonics, and this fast became a signature sound that trends through this entire album. Their heavy riffs had me churned and clenching my fists with a smile on my face continuously, as did that intimidating vocal. You guys definitely need to fuck with this album. It's up on Bandcamp, Nightmare Withdrawals. There are physical copies still available. Go and have a listen to this, add this to your collection. Show support to my New Zealand brothers by following Blindfolded and Led to the Woods on their socials. And for Blindfolded, fucking hell, men, this was livid, an absolutely livid album. I'm still digesting this, and cheers for the metal. I'm Kelly T. If you enjoy this review, we do reviews every week on our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, tap those notifications so you don't miss all this deadly content we have to share with you. We're also on Instagram and we're on Facebook.